Okay, now we're in 2-1B, which is, I'm sorry, 2-1B, which is variables and expressions. And again, I'm coming from the homework practice page, which is in your workbook. I'm going to be using that page, and your homework is probably going to be coming from the problem solving practice. So just keep reminding you of that because I'm starting to use two worksheets so that you're on the correct one. Trying to set my timer here so I don't go over my time. Okay. I'm starting off at number 1 on that page. It says to evaluate each expression if f equals, let's use a different color, f equals 3, I believe, yes, and g equals 5. Excuse me. I have a bit of a cold, so bear with me, please. And number 1, the question says 4f minus 2g. So basically all you're doing is substitution. Whatever they tell you f equals, you put that where the f is, and you usually put it in parentheses because that means that you're going to multiply. And when you see a coefficient and a variable right next to each other, that means multiply. So let's put that off to the side so that you remember that. 4f means 4 times f. Okay? So whenever you have a number and a variable right next to each other with no addition or subtraction in between them, that means you're going to multiply. And parentheses mean the same thing. This means 4 times 3. F equals 3, so instead of an F, we put a 3. So over here, G equals 5. So instead of writing a G, we'll put a 5 there in parentheses. So all I did was change the F to a 3 and the G to a 5. F became 3, G became 5. Okay, so 4 times 3 is 12. 2 times 5 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2. That's your final answer. Easy as that. You plug in the numbers, then you just do the math according to order of operations. Okay, let's do number 2. Number 2 says 3f, I'm sorry, there's parentheses there. 3 parentheses f plus g minus 8. So let's rewrite it with the numbers. 3 parentheses, the f is a 3, the g is a 5, and minus 8. So order of operations tells me, PEMDAS tells me to do parentheses first, right? PEMDAS. I like to put the M and the D together and the A and the S together because we'll get into that later. But multiplication and division, depending on which one comes first, that's the one that you do first. And addition of subtraction, depending on which one comes first, that's the one that you do first. Okay? So parentheses is at the top of the list, so we do what's in the parentheses first. 3 plus 5 is 8. So it's going to be 3 times 8 minus 8. And the reason I put times here is because whenever you see nothing in between a number and a parentheses, it means multiply. Just like we did in the last question. Remember I told you parentheses means multiply? So this meant 3 times 3 plus 5. 3 times 3 plus 5. 3 plus 5 is 8, so this is 3 times 8. 3 times 8. So multiplication comes before subtraction. So we do 3 times 8 is 24 minus 8. 24 minus 8 is, I believe, 16. Final answer. Okay? You got to know your order of operations to solve these. Plugging in the numbers is easy. It's just the knowing how to do the order of operations afterwards. Parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication or division, whichever one comes first when you read left to right. Same thing for addition or subtraction. Okay, let's do number 3. Number 3 says 6FG over 5F plus 3. So let's start plugging in. 6, the F is a 3, G is a 5, over 5, F is a 3, plus 3, right? So what does that give us? 6 times 3 times 5. You can do that in your calculator. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. 6 times 3 times 5 gives you 90. 5 times 3 gives you 15 plus 3. So we have 90 over 15 plus 3, 18. And we can simplify that by dividing by 9. 90 divided by 9 is 10. 18 divided by 9 is 2. We can simplify it again by dividing by 2. Can you guys see that? It's a little better. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Final answer is 5. Okay. Let's do number 10. Or, excuse me, number 9. Let's do number 9. Now for number 9, they gave us 3 new variables. They said A equals -3, B equals 4, and C equals 6. So when I look at number 9, it says 6 plus 2C over 5A minus 3. 6 plus 2C over 5A minus 3. So let's start filling in our numbers. 2 times C, C is 6, over 5A, A is -3, minus 3. So we filled in the 6 for C and a -3 for A. And what do we get? 6 plus 12, 2 times 6 is 12. 5 times -3 is -15. And do these in your calculator. I know them because I've been doing them forever. But if you're still tricky, especially with negative numbers multiplying, do it in your calculator so you don't make any careless mistakes. And then subtract the 3. So 2 times 6 gave us 12. 5 times -3 gave us -15. Okay? So now let's do the math. 6 plus 12 is 18. -15 take away 3 is -18. And that gives us well, I'll do it slow for people who don't see it. If you can simplify this, you know that if you take away the negative, 18 over 18 is 1. But one of the numbers was negative, so it's going to be -1. Okay? Remember, it doesn't matter where you put the negative, as long as you have one of them. So this is going to be -1 as the final answer.